A 7-game winning streak, a 9-game losing streak, grand slams, walk-offs, comeback wins, single run wins, and playoff hopes and players' dreams hanging by a thread. Welcome to the chaos that is June baseball. Hi everybody, my name is Craig. Welcome to MetropoliFins. We are YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel. We're going to break down some teams that are rising and falling and talk about what are their prospective chances of buying and selling at the trade deadline. First of all, in our 3-up, we have the San Francisco Giants. They are holding the top wild card spot in the National League. They just completed another come-from-behind win against the Colorado Rockies to stretch their Major League best winning streak right now to 7 games. They are one of the better home records in baseball, second, I believe, in the National League to just the Mets at 22-11. And they're just consistently winning these close games, these one-run games. Now, their lack of consistency bugs me to all craziness, and that's the part that really makes me wonder. For the trade deadline, they are going to be all-in buyers. Believe it. They are all in. They're going to try to take out the Dodgers from first place. I know it seems every year we always talk about the Giants making a big push. Maybe this will be the year they can actually land a star that they want at the trade deadline. The second team that is rising right now is the Los Angeles Angels. This is a team that we just keep bringing up every handful of weeks when it looks like they're done and down and out. They just keep finding another surge. And here we are in June, and they are tied with the Mariners now for the second best record in the AL West, tied for second place. They're just 2.5 games out of a wild card slot. Now they got to get back to 500 first. They need to win one more game to do that. But they've won 3 straight series, including a much-needed sweep of the Athletics. The question is, though, can they keep this rolling on the road against the Orioles and the Yankees? Trade deadline, well, when you're kind of under 500, 4 or 5 weeks is a long way away. I'm going to guess that they're probably selling, but is there a glimmer of hope? Well, the opportunity is there because no one has run away with the AL West yet. So let's see what they can do over the weeks ahead. And the last team that we're noticing that is on the rise is the Arizona Diamondbacks. Look, when everybody saw that they were losing Corbin Burnes, it was like, this season is over, this team is done with. But that actually may have inspired this team. They're 7-3 over the last 10 games, and they are just making every game seemingly wild. They had back-to-back walk-off wins against the Atlanta Braves. There's grand slams. It's basically chaos in almost every game. Sometimes to the bad side, but mostly to the good side. They score a lot of runs in bunches, and sometimes their pitching gives up lots of runs in bunches. But as a whole, they're maintaining and they're sustaining as kind of this sleeper team out of the NL West. Yes, they're still in 4th place in the NL West behind the Dodgers, the Giants, and the Padres. But they're also just still right there and definitely have the ability to go on a nice winning streak. They're the type of team that you would not want to face in a short 3-game series. Trade deadline. Well, again, as long as they stay in it, they're a buyer. And the big question is, are they going to swing for a top-tier starter to replace Corbin Burnes at the top of the rotation? Now we've got 3 teams that are headed downwards. But before we do that, please hit that like, hit that subscribe, and thank you to our patrons for helping support videos like this. If you want to become a patron, the link is down in the description below. We'd love to have you join this great growing community. All right, first team that is sliding hard right now is the Seattle Mariners. They're just 2-8 in their last 10. They cannot seem to get out of the way of themselves. Their bullpen is absolutely taxed. Their starting pitching has become inconsistent. And other than Cal Raleigh, the power at the plate has pretty much disappeared in the month of June. After being one of the league leaders in home runs, they're just middle of the pack in the month of June. They have dropped out of first place in the AL West, and they're actually now tied with those Angels that we were just talking about. And it just seems like they keep falling faster. Trade deadline, they're a buyer, but only if they can hold it together enough to stay within shouting distance of the Astros. If this slide continues for a couple more weeks, unfortunately, it looks like another sell-off for Seattle. The next team that is sliding hard, and this is a team we highlighted on a great win streak not too long ago, the St. Louis Cardinals. This team went from smoking hot to completely smoked in a matter of a couple of weeks. They have the longest losing streak in baseball right now. Now it's only 4 games, but that's just a part of the story. Their pitching is 25th in baseball with a 4.95 ERA in the month of June. And they've allowed at least 5 runs in 8 of their last 10 games. This is a team that doesn't have the offense that can consistently win huge, high-scoring games. They need a whole lot better pitching. Trade deadline, I'm going to tell you, sorry, St. Louis fans, it's just looking like it's time to sell unless you can figure out this really quick. And the last team that's on a slide, and we highlighted them because they moved out of the top 10 in the power rankings. You can go watch that video if you haven't seen that yet. But the Philadelphia Phillies, now they've won and they broke their losing streak, but they're coming off of a 9-game losing streak. They still had enough buffer with how they had done that they're still holding a wild card slot. But life without Bryce Harper is a bit scary, especially when most of their offensive production has been focused on Schwarber and Turner, and there just hasn't been too much. Now, like I mentioned in the power rankings, there are signs that Alec Boehm is maybe getting ready to break out, but they need more than just 1 or 2 guys to step up. They need a consistency up and down this lineup. Bob Nightingale of USA Today reported that the Phillies are expected to be one of the most aggressive teams at the trade deadline, looking for both center fielder and bullpen help. So we're going to call them buyers. There is 0% chance that they are giving up on this season. I'd expect the Phillies to be around. They're just struggling to find their footing at this point in time. All right, let me know down in the comments below what I get right, what I get wrong, and what other teams did I miss, and is your team buying or selling at the trade deadline?